The Spiral, Chapter 30, The Light Bearer and Bata-Ael. Both mentor and student could not help but look into one another's eyes that spoke of accomplishment and fulfillment. Rush, the light bearer, hugged his student, and for the first time, Bata-Ael cried. The hidden longing for his destiny was now unleashed in tears and gratefulness for the one who uncovered it. The light bearer then brought out the patch of cloth with the emblem of the sun with seeds and pinned it to Bata-Ael's jacket's lapel to replace the torn one on his grandfather's jacket. It was hand-sewn by Rash himself specially for this occasion. Still with tear-moist eyes, Bata-Ael leapt into the air. Back at the village, they were feted to a great feast of lamb stew and roasted beef. The sumptuous fare underscored the villagers' gratitude for the killing of the wolves. Merriment broke out easily as they talked and danced into the night. Then, in the midst of all the feasting, a herder's dog limped into the village. It was all bloodied and almost on its last leg. Sensing something afoot, Rush and Bata-Ael ran to the pen and found 2 lambs and a few goats dead with their flesh torn up. When the villagers caught up with them, they were all taken aback by such a sudden change of events. A dread struck the village, as this was too close for anyone's comfort. Rush knew that this must have had something to do with a shift of power at the labyrinth. If not, the wolves would not dare to come too near the village. Rush decided there and then that Bata-Ael must quickly be told about the light seeds. To his surprise, Bata-Ael accepted what he said easily. Then, as Bata-Ael told him about the diary, Rush realized that here was help that was pre-arranged by the Living One. Bata-Ael learned that the light seed could break the power of the mist. It could break the ties that the mist forged in an earthman. Bata-Ael had seen the mist following Ira before. If he could only get one, then Ira would be free. Listening intently, Bata-Ael waited for Rush, the light bearer, to reveal his secrets. Even before time, the light seeds existed. They were not from this world, nor from another world. They all came from one light seed. They lived beyond time, but when they broke into Earth's time, they had a purpose. Rush pointed to a tree. Just as a seed gave birth to a tree and brought forth many similar seeds, so the light seeds came from one. The one light seed was there, and nothing could add nor detract from it, for it was perfect. He thought a song of the one light seed. You walk among the stars, which became your playground. You came onto the earth. There appeared a plant of a design that grew and recreated anew. The song mesmerized Bata-Ael, and he drank it all in until his understanding grew and embraced the words of the song. Then he knew he had just received a light seed. He wanted more and waited from Rush. Rush saw the understanding in Bata-Ael and ended the lesson. Then a wind came from the eastern sky and filled both with a coolness and a warmth that lifted their spirits. The sun broke out of its morning horizon and cast its rays into the valley. Amazing shadows on the rocks, cliffs, and rivers shifted as the sun climbed higher. It was a slow-moving dance of shadows, first lighting one part and then more parts, bringing into display the colors of nature that the night had hidden in gray. Both waited in the morning light, And the light seed came and fell into them. It released its light and began its work as dominoes touched one another, and they fell one by one. The light streamed from one to another, breaking barriers and releasing life, just as the rain that forms streams, causing seemingly barrenness to sprout forth its life from the dry earth. Bata-Ael felt its cause and took delight in it. Never in his life had he felt that light and fresh. He took a pebble and threw it as far away as he could. Then he took another and another. He thought of Ira, and he knew before all else, Ira must have the light seed. For Rash, the light bearer, it was like 1,000 years broke forth into him and concentrated all his treasures in that one moment. It overflowed the containment of his heart out into his soul and emotion. He stood there stunned. This light seed was special, as it would be the one that would help him kill the beast and even what came after it. He stood there, just letting it seep into his being. Neither words nor emotional cries could express the depth of that experience. His resentment of those who hurt his father and family became a speck in the light of that eternity, and soon it too would become as dust that he could easily swipe off with one thought. He knew then that resentment would always be like water that flowed off a duck's back. Bata-Ael hugged Rush tightly in a reciprocal acknowledgement of a father and son. That link was forged despite the small difference between their ages. The tears in Bata-Ael's heart burst out and flowed freely from the years of neglect and sense of alienation. A missing piece was found and filled the gap.